Hi everybody and welcome back. In today's video, we will be discussing the classic cocktail that is said to be the predecessor to the Negroni. We are of course talking about the Americano. So we're going to talk about the cocktail family structure, we're going to make the cocktail, and stay tuned to the very end because we'll use that cocktail family structure to make our own fun twist on this delicious, refreshing drink. Hi everybody, I'm Chris from A Bar Above. I'm a 15-year veteran of the bar and somebody that loves making fun and delicious cocktails. When we talk about the Americano, we are talking about a cocktail that lives squarely in the Highball cocktail family. And this is one of the easiest families to understand. We basically have a base spirit and a sparkling element of some form, and that is it. So if you've ever had a vodka tonic or a rum and coke, these are great examples of highballs. Now, when we apply mixology techniques to this very simple structure, we can add even more flavor and more complexity, and that's exactly what we see with the Americano. So one of the techniques that can be applied is something called a split base. Instead of one base spirit, like rum in the rum and coke example, we fracture that out into two different components. In this case, we have Campari and sweet vermouth, and these are very flavorful, very complex ingredients, especially when you pair them together. Now, the soda water in this case is going to be there to lift and lighten this drink, and it makes it a very delicious, refreshing summer and spring cocktail. Now, this is going to be the starting point when we go to make our own variation later on in this video, but for now, let's go ahead and make the classic Americano together. And then for a garnish, we're just gonna do a simple orange twist. And there we have it, the classic Americano. This is what makes this a classic cocktail. A ton of complexity, light, refreshing, sweet in the beginning, and it draws out to a nice bitter finish. There's a lot of complexity in a very simple cocktail family. And now it is time for us to go ahead and make our variation. So we're going to use that same structure that we mentioned earlier, but with some new ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and start by putting everything in our highball glass, just like the original. So we're going to start by using a really fun ingredient called Genepy. This is a Dolan product, and this is kind of like a green chartreuse kind of substitute. Has a ton of flavor and a lot of complexity. So we're going to go ahead and add this in there. And this does have a lot of sweetness to it, so we're going to use a really delicious dry vermouth here. This is Carpano Blanco, but it does have a nice kind of sweetness to it as well. And this is going to be really important as we add our final sparkling element to it, which is going to be tonic. So the tonic is going to add some bitter notes to it to really balance out the rest of the sweetness while providing even more flavor. And now for the garnish. Instead of the orange, we're actually going to use lemon. And the reason why is because this is a little bit brighter and lighter, and it's going to go really well with the other ingredients that we've chosen. And there we have it, our twist on the classic Americano. That is a very delicious cocktail. Now, you still get the sweetness, you get the bitterness, you get the complexity that is very iconic with this style of cocktail. Now, how it kind of differs from the Americano is the Americano has more intensity to it. So the flavors are just more extreme. You get that intense sweetness in the beginning, and then you get an intense sweetness that trails on longer at the end, where this one is a much more subdued. So it's just kind of a cleaner kind of complexity to it, if that makes sense. And what's really interesting is we just did a simple substitution. It is the same cocktail family, but we just traded out a couple of ingredients, and this shows how a simple cocktail family like the Highball can really be used to make very different styles of drinks. There we have it. We have made the classic Americano. We have talked about the structure of the highball, and we've used that modified structure to come up with our own fun variation, which is delicious. Now, we would love to find out what your favorite variation of the Americano is in the comments below. Now, we're gonna have some more cocktail videos similar to this in the future. Hit the like, subscribe, and the bell icon, and you will get notified anytime we release content just like this. Until then, I hope you guys are enjoying your favorite version of the Americano. Cheers.